Ladies and gentlemen, Arsenal Football Club have finally won the Premier League. Yes, we finally flipping won it. Bro, we're gonna be partying all night. In fact, scrap that, we're gonna be partying all summer.
Tell you something, 22 years there was laughing, there was joking, they're not laughing anymore. Look, it's gonna be shining, look. It's gonna be shining bright.
You lot don't realise how much pain we've been through before this season, bro. There is honestly no fan base that deserves us more than the Arsenal fan base. I don't care how much you hate us, I don't care how much you find us unbearable. The absolute nonsense we've been put through, we deserve this, bro. But before I start talking about Arsenal, I've got some other teams to talk about first. First of all, where's that wallad with the bottle now, bruv? That guy had his 10 minutes of fame when he brought out that bottle at Stamford Bridge thinking he's trolling Arsenal, but it's come right back to bite him. And looking at the size of that guy, I can tell he's definitely used to biting. And it definitely won't be the hardest thing he's had to swallow, so I'm sure he'll be fine. And this absolute bozo Erling Haaland. That stupid look he gave at the Etihad as if Man City were the favourites now. But no, they went away to Everton and bottled it, and went away to Bournemouth and got dominated and got lucky to even draw. Honestly, these guys are terrible. And what makes it better, Pep Guardiola's leaving. This was their last chance to win the title. Next season, they're going to be down in 10th. They're going to be back where they belong. They might even get relegated. Honestly, Man City, it's been nice knowing you, but we've gone clear now. Like, the fact we've actually beaten a team with 115 charges to their name for cheating is just so impressive, bro. Like, these guys literally cheated their way to the top, and we still beat them. But yeah, Man City are a small club, so I won't focus on them too much. But instead, let me talk about Tottenham, because they lost again, and it looks like they might be getting relegated. If West Ham beat Leeds on the final day and they lose to Everton, they're going to be playing Championship football next season, whilst we're the champions. These absolute bum-ass bozos had the nerve to call themselves our rivals, and look where they are in the table. We're first, and they're 17th. 17th in back-to-back seasons. Are you not embarrassed? Imagine they get relegated and we win the league in the same season. Oh my days. And the team they play today, Chelsea, they're a bunch of bozos too. They've just lost their 7th final at Wembley in a row. Honestly, how trash can you even be? They're down languishing in mid-table, when in November they thought they were in a title race with us. I don't even know when the league they are right now. Are they 9th? Are they 10th? Are they 11th? I don't even know. They're actually so washed. Between the two clubs, they've been through about 6 managers this season. And next week at the parade, we're gonna see who really runs London, bro. Because London has never been more red. Oh, and don't even get me started on Liverpool. I thought these guys were supposed to walk the league. They started the season with 5 wins in a row. They spent £500 million, and they're fighting to even get in the top 5. They have to be the worst champions of all time. Like, some Liverpool fans have the nerve to say we're the worst winners of all time. Look where you are in the league. How can you spend so much and be so bad? And they've got their manager beefing with their best player. They're a circus. On the real, I actually don't mind Liverpool. It's just the fact that they have the nerve to speak about us. Well, look at the predicament that they're in. And I told you all last season that this Liverpool team isn't that good. Respect to them for winning the league last season. But I've been telling you for so long that they're not that good and they're gonna fall off. And I was right. And you all hated on me for it. And then finally, Manchester United. These guys really think they're back here because they're 3rd in the table. But did they not realise that they now have the longest streak of not winning the Premier League of any big club in the country? Because now we've ended our streak. Liverpool won it last season, City won it the season before that, and Chelsea won it in 2017. Do you know when the last time Manchester United won the Premier League was? 2013. That's actually insane, bro. Like, I'm hearing guys say Bruno should win Player of the Season when his team is finishing 3rd and winning nothing. Have you lost your whole minds, bro? Like, come on. And some of them think they're actually going to challenge next season. Like, do they not realise that if Champions League football added on to the season, they're going to struggle a lot more? They're in for a harsh reality check next season, bro. But now that I've spoken about those bozos, it's time to talk about the greatest team in the Premier League, Arsenal Football Club. Because for the first time in my entire lifetime, we have finally won the Premier League. Bro, I've been waiting for this moment my whole life. I've only ever seen us win the league on YouTube compilations and FIFA career mode, bruv. And now I'm seeing it in real life. The last time we won the league, I was still in my dad's ballsack. That's how long it's been. And now we're making Martinelli and Christian Norgard Premier League champions. Noni Madueke is a Premier League champion. Kai Havertz is a Premier League champion. Victor Gyökeres, the guy everyone has been slating all season, including me, is a Premier League champion. But most importantly, some of our best players have finally got what they deserve. Bukayo Saka, this guy has dragged us from the floor, bro. I remember this guy when we were 15th in the league at Christmas, absolutely on our knees, and this guy was the only player that was turning up for us every single week. No one at this football club deserves it more than him, bro. I love this guy, bro. I don't care that he hasn't had his best season, because he's been struggling with injuries for about 2 years now, and he's produced for us time and time and time again. In fact, everyone knows that we won a lot of games by only a 1-goal margin this season. Go look at the amount of times that Saka won us those points, bro. And then of course I have to talk about Gabriel. This guy was the first guy to believe in the project. He joined us in 2020 when we were finishing 8th, and I remember people writing him off season after season. Every season it was like, Gabriel's the guy they've got to replace, go to the next level. And now look, this season, he's been arguably the player of the season. The amount of important moments he's come up with, whether it be goals from corners or incredible blocks. Bro, this guy, oh my days, I love him. And next to him, William Saliba. We've actually got the 2 best centre-backs in the world in our defence. And behind them, David Raya, bro, this guy is unbelievable. He saved us so many times this season, it's crazy. This goalkeeper, he's just built different, man. And then Declan Rice. What can I even say about this guy? He has been immense since the moment he joined us. We signed him for £100 million, and it still feels like we got a bargain. I don't even care, bro. Give him the Ballon d'Or. Man, these guys are actually Arsenal legends in the flesh. It's crazy. And to think of all the moments I've seen growing up, flipping hell. I remember the first season I was watching Arsenal. We lost 6-0 to Chelsea, 5-1 to Liverpool, 6-3 to Manchester City. We were getting embarrassed every flipping time we went away to a big team. And then the year we went against Leicester for the Premier League title, we beat them in the last minute. We thought that was the moment we're going to go on to win the league, that Danny Welbeck header, just for us to lose to Manchester United's under-21 team the following week, and then lose at home to Swansea the very next game. And then the season after that, when we lost 10-2 to Bayern in the Champions League, and then that was the last time we even played in the Champions League until 2023. The Carabao Cup final in 2018 when we got battered 3-0, and then a few days later we got battered 3-0 again by Man City, and the semi-finals of the Europa League in Wenger's final season when we somehow lost to Atletico even though we absolutely destroyed them. And then Unai Emery came in and we bottled top 4 in the most incredible way possible. We lost like 3-1 to Wolves, 3-2 to Crystal Palace, 3-0 to Leicester in about 3 weeks, and then drew 1-1 at home to Brighton, who were terrible back then, with flipping Yves Bissouma laughing at us after the game as we lost out on top 4, and then we went on to lose 4-1 to Chelsea in the Europa League final a couple weeks later. Bro, the absolute pain of those days, man, it will never leave me. I have actual trauma from this football club. Then the next season, we play Olympiacos in the Europa League, we go 1-0 up in the away leg, they come to our stadium and go 1-0 up, it goes to extra time. Then Aubameyang scores an incredible bicycle kick, we think we've won it, and then flipping El Arabi scores in the last minute to make it 2-1 and they go through on away goals. But then Aubameyang gets an even later chance and he flipping misses it. And then we finish 8th that season, and then we finish 8th again the next season after being 15th at Christmas and lost out to Unai Emery's Villarreal in the Europa League semi-final. Then we have the worst ever start to a Premier League season by any team ever, losing our first 3 games, 2-0, 2-0 and 5-0. Bottom of the league. I remember going to that game at home against Norwich in our 4th game. Norwich were above us in 19th, but they were above us because they scored 1 goal and we had scored 0. And then we get a scrappy, lucky 1-0 win with an Aubameyang tap-in, and then somehow we end up in the top 4 battle that season. We're like 4 points clear of Tottenham with 3 games to go. Then we go away to Tottenham, we lose 3-0, and then we go away to Newcastle, we lose 2-0, and then Tottenham overtake us, and we miss out on top 4, making it like 6 or 7 years in a row without Champions League football. Honestly, I thought nothing could beat the heartbreak of that. But then we go into the next season with no expectations, and end up having one of the best starts to a season ever, getting 50 points from our first 19 games, just for us to absolutely bottle it in the most embarrassing fashion ever. We went 2-0 up at Anfield, bro. I thought that was the moment. 2-0 up at Anfield. Surely we go on to win and go on to win the Premier League. But no, we bottle it, we draw 2-2, then in the very next game we go 2-0 up against West Ham, and then we bottle that and draw 2-2, and then the very next game we play Southampton at home, bottom of the league Southampton. Ramsdale passes it to them in the first minute, we end up going 3-1 down, we think we're going to come back, we come back to 3-3, and we somehow don't get it to 4-3, we draw the game 3-3, we bottled the league, then we go away to Man City in our next game, we get smacked up 4-1, and the title's done, we bottled it. Then the very next season, we win 16 out of our last 18 games, and somehow still don't win the league because we lost at home to flipping Aston Villa. Either side of that, we lose to the worst Bayern team of all time in the Champions League and get knocked out by a Bayern team that lost the league to flipping Leverkusen and finish below Stuttgart. Then we go into the next season thinking this year has to be our year, just for us to get the worst decisions of all time against us and a bunch of flipping injuries. We lose to the worst Manchester United team of all time at home in the FA Cup, and then a few days later lose to Newcastle in the Carabao Cup semi-finals. So out of 2 competitions in the space of a few days, we let Liverpool run away with the Premier League, and then we finally have our big moment. We smack Real Madrid 3-0 at the Emirates, we beat them 2-1 away, and we finally believe that we might actually win the Champions League. And what happens next? next, the club produces the worst tifo ever known to mankind. This, yeah, was the biggest embarrassment I've ever had in my entire life. We lose the first leg 1-0 after having an abundance of chances and somehow not winning. Then we go away to Paris, we play excellently and still somehow lose 2-1. We get knocked out in the semi-final, absolute heartbreak. Then we got laughed at by Liverpool a few days later with that flipping banner at their stadium and have to live with everyone writing us off and calling us bottlers for flipping years. This season, yeah, oh my days, the way we started was incredible. But then it just seemed like we were doing everything in our power to throw it away. Like, what were we even doing at home to Manchester United? What the flip was that game away to Wolves? And then we lose at home to Bournemouth. We see that stupid Man City fan with the bottle and have to listen to everyone saying we're gonna bottle the league for weeks. And now look what's happened, bro. All of that flipping pain, all of that pain this club has given me, we finally won it, bro. We finally won the Premier League title. And now no one can say anything. No one can say anything, bro, because we're champions now. This is the moment I've been waiting for so long, for years and years and years and years and years and years. All that pain, I've just spoken through all the pain that I've lived through, that I've watched. There's pain before I started watching. There's the 8-2 to Manchester United. There's the 2011 Carling Cup final to Birmingham City. The 2006 Champions League final. The flipping bottle job in 2008 at Birmingham when Gallas was crying on the pitch. And then people are going to say Arsenal fans are going to be unbearable. Of course. You go cry. You go cry that your teams are dead. Because we've had to listen to you call us bosses for years. You're not going to hear the end of it. I don't care. Everyone who is crying and screaming for us not to win the league, you deserve this, bro. You deserve this. Because if you just acted normal, yeah, Arsenal fans will just enjoy their trophy and that's it. So either enjoy it or go and cry in your pillow, G. Because I can't lie, Arsenal fans are going to be celebrating this for months and months and months. And gosh, if we win in that Champions League final, yeah, I'm not even thinking about that final right now, bro. I just want to enjoy the Premier League. If we win the Champions League, that's a great bonus. If we don't win it, it's whatever. We've got the Premier League. Anyway, that's it for me in this video. If you enjoyed, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I do really want to make a long video, like a movie documentary type thing of Arsenal winning the league. I've started some work on it. I'm hoping I can get out next week. I'm really hoping. Also, don't forget to follow me on Instagram and on TikTok. And that's it for me. In a bit, G.